Organic chemistry for babies. This is a ball. This ball can stick to 2 other balls. This ball can stick to 3 others. And this ball can stick to 4 others. Each type of ball can stick to a certain number of other balls. Imagine all the shapes we can make just by combining these different type of balls. These balls are like atoms. Atoms make up everything. Each type of atom can stick to a certain number of other atoms. This is a carbon atom. It is very special. It can stick to 4 other atoms. It sticks very well. This one is methanediol. This one's methanol. Or methanediol? Methanediol? I'm not sure where the emphasis is on that one. And this one is dimethylmine. Again, not sure where the emphasis goes. Sticks very well. It likes to make big shapes. These shapes are called organic molecules, like methane. There are many organic molecules, like benzene, ethanol, and butane. Some are medicines. This one is aspirin, or acetylsalicylic acid. No. Yeah. Said that right. Some smell really nice. This is vanillin. It's 4-hydroxybenzoyl 4-hydroxy-3-methoxybenzaldehyde. Dehyde? Ay. Vanilla. It's what makes vanilla extract smell so good. Organic molecules are found everywhere, like cotton, or amylose, or histidine, which are amino acids, or sodium laurate. Gasoline contains lots of organic molecules, like heptane or isooctane. Plants contain lots of organic molecules, like glucose and chlorophyll. Even you contain lots of organic molecules. Yeah, you too. Like glutathione, adenine, or acetone. All life on Earth has organic molecules, and all life on Earth needs carbon. Now you know organic chemistry. Might be more complicated than that. The end. Jimmy the Jittery Jitterbug. Jimmy is a jitterbug, the sweetest, kindest, and most loving little jitterbug you would ever want to meet. But Jimmy is often shy and anxious, and when Jimmy is anxious, he jitters. Jimmy jitters at school when it's his turn to read. He is worried that his classmates will laugh at him if he gets a word wrong, or that he might read too quickly, or too slowly, or too softly, or too loudly. Oh dear. Jimmy, everything is fine, said his teacher, Miss Hoot, reassuring him. There is no need to rush and nothing to worry about. We are all enjoying very much listening to you read. That made Jimmy feel better, and he finished his reading without so much jittering. Once upon a time. But reading aloud in class was not the only thing that made Jimmy jitter. Jimmy would jitter if he was invited to a sleepover at his friend's house. Although Jimmy loved his friends, he would get anxious when he was away from his house for too long. Understandable. Mama, maybe I shouldn't go. Who will water the plants or take out the trash when I'm gone? What if I am not having fun? What if I get hurt? Who would take care of you if I'm gone? Asked Jimmy as he jittered. Now, Jimmy, replied his mother softly. I can certainly take care of the plants and the trash. Both you and I are going to be absolutely fine. You love your friends, and they love you. I am certain that in no time at all, you will be having more fun than you will know what to do with. That made Jimmy relax, and he happily packed up his things for the sleepover without quite so much jittering. But that wasn't all of Jimmy's worries. Jimmy would also jitter at bedtime. It is so dark, I cannot see anything. What if there are monsters that are going to get me? Said Jimmy as he jittered. You know, Jimmy, I used to be afraid of the dark too, his father confessed quietly, but there is nothing to worry about. I have an idea, said his father smiling. Let's check the room out together. And with that, Jimmy and his father checked the closets, behind the curtains, and under the bed. Not a single monster was to be found. Did you find anything, Jimmy? Asked his father, already knowing the answer. No, Papa, said Jimmy as he climbed into his bed. Well then, the coast is clear, said Jimmy's father, giving him a little tickle as he tucked him in. And do not worry, I will put this little nightlight in here next to your bed, so it's not quite so dark. And with that, he gave Jimmy a good night kiss, and that made Jimmy feel better, and he did not jitter quite so much. The end. The Adventures of Sam, the Speedy Sloth. Playtime in the forest. In the rainforest. Oh my goodness. Sam the Sloth lives in the rainforest of South America. Sam is not like other sloths. Yes, Duck wants to drink my drink. Sam is not like other sloths. He is speedy and loves to run around. But the other sloths are always too busy snoozing all day and too tired to play with Sam. One day, Sam decided to find new friends to play games with. He walked into the forest looking to see who was around. When he stopped by a tree, Sam saw a colorful bird perched on a branch high above. Hello, he said. I'm Sam the Sloth, and I'm looking for someone to play with. Do you want to play a game? I'm Tammy the Toucan, she said, and I love games. Sam was delighted and asked, So, what can we play? Well, how about we fly over the treetops? That's my favorite game, replied Tammy, pointing up to the sky. But I can't fly like you. I don't have wings, said Sam. Maybe we can't play together then, Tammy sighed. Sam was sad for a moment, but then he had an idea. Well, how about we race? I can run and you can fly. Tammy agreed and flew off with a flap of her wings. Sam ran along the leafy ground as fast as he could. Sam and Tammy reached a clearing and stopped. That was so fun, they both giggled with big smiles. Sam sat down on the ground, but the earth collapsed beneath him. He fell into a hole and pulled himself out. Suddenly, a big snout poked out from the deep hole. "Excuse me, you sat on my den," said the creature. "Sorry," said Sam. "We were just playing a fun game." The creature smiled. "I love games. Can I play too?" "Of course," Sam answered with a beaming smile. "I'm Amy the Armadillo," she said. "Nice to meet you." "So, what game do you want to play?" asked Sam. "Let's dig underground. I love that game," replied Amy. "But we can't dig underground like you," said Sam. Amy looked sad. "Maybe we can't play together then." Sam thought for a moment. "I can run, Tammy can fly, and you can dig." They nodded and each sped off. Sam was so busy looking behind him, he didn't see the river right ahead of him. But it was too late and he fell in. He swam back, spat out a mouthful of water, and shook the water off his fur. He laughed at his wet reflection. Just then, a little round face stuck out of the water. "What's going on? Who's splashing?" the face asked. Sam smiled. "Oh, sorry. We were playing a fun game, and I accidentally fell in the river. Now I'm all wet." The face smiled and rose up from under the water. "That sounds like fun. I love games. Can I join in?" "Of course," Sam, Tammy, and Amy replied together. "I'm Oscar the Otter. Pleased to meet you," he said. "Great. What game do you want to play?" Sam asked. "Swimming underwater is so much fun," replied Oscar. The others all frowned and looked at each other. "Sorry, but we can't swim underwater," Sam said. "Oh no," said Oscar. "Maybe we can't play together." "I think I have an idea," said Sam, waving his arms. "Let's have a race where I run, Tammy flies, Amy digs, and Oscar swims. First to the big tree stump wins." Before Sam had a chance to move, they all sped off. Sam ran along the riverbank, clumsily moving his legs. As he got to the tree stump, Sam tripped on some vines, but he laughed and quickly got up from the ground. The others arrived with wide smiles on their faces. "It's so much fun mixing our favorite games," said Tammy. "And I have some amazing new friends," added Amy. "We're different, but we can still play together," said Sam. "Can we play together again tomorrow?" asked Oscar. "Of course we can," they all cheered and laughed. "We should go home," said Sam. "It's getting late." So they all said goodbye and disappeared into the rainforest. Sam walked back to the rainforest to go home. That night, Sam went to bed and looked up at the sky. "That was such a fun day. I wonder what game we'll play next time," he said before falling asleep. The end. Mae Jemison. Hi, I'm Mae Jemison. As a child, I dreamed of going into space. 1, 2, 3, blast off! I loved all things science and was frustrated to see that there were no women astronauts when I was a girl. My parents encouraged me to chase my dreams. "You can do anything you want, Mae. You just have to believe." But not everyone believed in me. "Girls can't do that. Stop dreaming, Mae." I was good at dancing, too. I'd taken classes since I was 8 years old, and I was a cheerleader at high school. It was much easier to get support as a young woman wanting to be a dancer than it was as a young woman scientist. When I graduated from college, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I could go back to dancing or go to medical school. But what I really wanted was to fly to space. I'd been discouraged by so many people over the years about my dreams of flying to space. So I chose the safer route and trained as a doctor. Do you think women will ever fly to space? No, only men fly to space. But I hadn't totally given up. I still studied advanced engineering and science while working. What we find is that we have a goal. Is that if you have a goal and you approach it in tiny little steps, you start to get there faster. Your mind opens up to the possibilities. One day, the television was on, and the news highlight was astronauts. But they weren't just any astronauts. There was a woman astronaut and a black astronaut. I almost fell out of my chair. I couldn't believe my eyes. Women and people of color could really do it. We can fly to space. I always knew it. Right there and then, my love and dreams were reignited. I summoned the courage to apply to NASA. And guess what? Out of 2,000 applicants, I was one of 15 that was chosen. Hi, did you get my application? Yes, we did. You've been accepted, Mae. What? Thank you. Thank you. Happy dance. I worked very hard, and it also helped that I loved my work. I was soon selected for a space flight. The thing that I have done throughout my life is to do the best job that I can, and to be me. Although I had almost been discouraged from trying, told again and again that I would fail, I kept working towards my dreams. My courage and conviction had faltered at times, but my hard work paid off. In the end, I was brave enough to chase my dreams. I became the first black woman to visit space. I showed myself and the world that women could be scientists too. Don't let anyone rob you of your imagination, your creativity, or your curiosity. It's your place in the world. It's your life. Go on and do all you can with it, and make it the life you want to live. The end. Dreamy outer space. Today, with friends, I played pretend. What an awesome day it's been. Tonight, I'll dream of outer space, a rocket ship to worlds unseen. These don't actually rhyme, but that's okay. Outer space is the area outside the Earth's atmosphere, where the other planets and stars are situated. The air and gases that surround the Earth are called the atmosphere. I dream that I'm an astronaut exploring space, my greatest quest. I wake up to a brand new day, so glad I got a full night's rest. Did you know? An astronaut is a person who travels in a spacecraft into outer space. The word astronaut comes from Greek words meaning space sailor. The first astronaut to ever go into outer space was Yuri Gagarin, or Gagarin. I've heard it both ways. On May 5th, 1961. I choose to go and take a walk, and quickly out the door I go. My goodness, what is this I see? We're now in space. My joy will grow. Did you know? Any time an astronaut gets out of the spacecraft while in space, it is called a spacewalk. When astronauts go on spacewalks, they wear spacesuits to keep them safe. I'll tell my friends about this wonder. How we'll all have so much fun. I know they're bound to squeal and jump. They love space travel and the sun. Did you know? The sun is a star. It is the closest star to Earth. If you could drive to the sun in a car, it would take more than 100... Excuse me. It would take more than 170 years to get there. We'll get a taste of fun in space among the planets, every kind. Soon, obstacles will find our course. A fun new game we're sure to find. Did you know? A planet is a large, round object in outer space that orbits or travels around a star. Earth is the planet we live in, or on, and the sun is our star. 8 big planets orbit the sun, including Earth. We'll soon befriend the cutest aliens, those who live upon the moon. We'll gladly teach them how to sing, and then we'll chant a lively tune. Did you know? The word alien is the popular word for a living being from another planet. There is no evidence that aliens exist, but many people believe there is life on other planets. And what about a spaceship race? We'll glide past meteors and stars. Our thrills will cross the limits, watching spaceships speedier than cars. Did you know? The stars are so far away from Earth that when we look at the stars at night, we are seeing light that may have taken a few hundred to millions of years to reach our eyes. We are actually looking back in time. A fiery, flashy meteor will be the most fantastic sight while zooming past so many stars with force and power, and with might. Many chunks of rock, did you know? Many chunks of rock float in outer space. Sometimes one such rock will enter the Earth's atmosphere and burn up. This hot, glowing piece of space rock falling towards Earth is called a shooting star or a meteor. We'll take a speedy trip to Saturn to explore its 7 rings, its ice, its rock, and, by the billions, meteors that come in strings. Ooh! Did you know the rings around the planet Saturn are made up of billions of bits of icy rocks? Some bits are as tiny as specks of dust. Others are the size of huge mountains. We'll ride around the astrobots and play a game of astro tag. Then, later, when we catch each other, we will have a chance to brag. Did you know? The only place in space on which people have landed is the moon. Some astronauts who visited the moon had a moon buggy, closest to an astrobot, called a lunar roving vehicle. And it's still there. Oops, sorry, Duck. We'll take a selfie out in space. Ugh, wouldn't that be super cool? And we will all become so famous with a show and tell at school. Did you know a space selfie is a selfie, or a self-portrait photograph, that is taken in space? The first known space selfie was taken in 1966 by astronaut Buzz Aldrin. I think this day is pretty great. In fact, too perfect to exist. But we can make it all come true if we believe and just persist. Did you know? Being an astronaut is a dream for lots of us kids. As of December 2019, 565 astronauts, of them 65 were women, from 41 different countries have traveled to space. Play up here. Oh, there we go. Rockets. astronaut and equipment need to ride on a rocket to reach space. The rocket blasts up into the air. That is called a launch. Rockets have been used in space travel for over 70 years. All right. Oops. This is the spacesuit. All the different parts. On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong became the first human to step on the moon. He and Buzz Aldrin walked around for 3 hours, collecting bits of dust and rock and taking photographs. Their historic footprints can last 1,000,000 years on the surface of the moon. That's because the moon has no atmosphere. It exists in the vacuum of space, where there are no gentle breezes to sweep up the dust and erase the footprints. Here are all the words we said. Astronaut, atmosphere, buggy, lander, lunar, meteor, moon, orbit, planet, rocket, roving, shooting star, solar system, star, and universe. The end. I love you and cheese pizza. Brian is a pig in jeans. One day, he noticed something new on the wall. Mom, what does this say? Brian asked. It says L-O-V-E. Love. Now, can you hang it back on the wall? But what does love mean? Love is a sweet feeling. When you see someone you really love, you feel happy. You care about them a lot, Mom explained. So, is there something you really love? Hint, 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 hint. Maybe it starts with the letter M? Hint, 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 hint. Yeah, Mike the pizza guy, Brian yelled. I love it when he delivers my cheese pizza. Oh, okay, fine. Mike and... Hint, 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 hint. Mike and his cheese pizza. So delicious. Love, 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 love. Plop. Brian, love isn't just about cheese pizzas. It's not. Love is also when you stand up for your little sister when she gets bullied at school. Or your little brother, if you don't have a little sister. Or your friends. Love is when your teacher patiently explains a math question to you. Or your friend named Dr. Goose. Duck will help too. Love is when you hug your grandma and grandpa. Love is also when Daddy throws you in the air. Whee! Oops. Too high. How can I show people I love them? Brian wanted to know. Well, it can be as easy as just saying, I love you. You can give them a hug, but only if they give you permission. Have to ask and give permission. You can be kind and caring. You can even draw a card. So, Brian started drawing cards with hearts. He gave cards to Grandma and Grandpa. He gave a card to his sister. And a card to his friend. And a card to his teacher. and a card to his dad. Wait, there are more! Brian carried a huge pile of cards down the stairs. But his left foot tripped over his right foot. Ooh, ee, ow, ooh, bonk, boing! Brian bumped his head and crashed into the plant. Mom ran over, looking concerned. Sorry, Mom, I broke your favorite plant, Brian apologized. Oh, Brian, that's all right. As long as you are safe, nothing else matters. Are you okay? I'm okay. Wow, look at all these lovely cards. Looks like there are a lot of people you love. No, Mom, these are all for you, Brian continued to explain. Love is when you rushed over when I fell. Love is when you forgave me when I broke your plant. Love is when you asked if I was okay. Love is when you showed me the true meaning of love. Every day! Mommy, I love you. And cheese pizza. The end. Ding dong. Pizza delivery. Okay. The end for real. 1,000,000 years from home. A long time ago, in a faraway land, an egg lay all alone in hot lava sand. Soon it got dark. After that, it got cold. And through millions of years, the egg never grew old. The egg's fateful journey began on the day when the sun warmed the earth and the ice thawed away. To find a new home, the egg rolled around till it came to a nest in a pit in the ground. A creature appeared that was slim, yet so strong. Its eyes were bright red, and its tongue forked and long. Mother Snake slithered closer and gave it a knock. How exciting, she said. A new egg on the block. You're not like the rest in the nest. No, you're new. Oh, you make my heart melt. So, I promise to you, I will love you, my dear, from your tongue, thin and frail, all the way down to the tip of your tail. The egg thought, hooray, we'll be a great match. It shook and pushed legs out, all eager to hatch. A lioness fiercely attacked the snake's nest. The egg thought, let's run. This is no place to rest. It found 3 more eggs. It guessed that It found 3 more eggs, and it guessed that it's best to cuddle up there at the edge of their nest. A creature appeared with long legs and short wings, a curved neck, and a head with a beak to peck things. A tall ostrich mama sat down in the sun. How lovely, she said. Oh, just look at this one. You are not like the rest in the nest. No, you're new. Oh, you make my heart melt. So, I promise to you, I will love you, my dear, from your head small and round, all the way down to your feet on the ground. The egg thought, hooray, we'll be a great match. And it shook and pushed arms out, all eager to hatch. Then the lioness came. She couldn't care less. Roar! That the egg had to flee yet again. What a mess! In shock, the egg crawled to a burrow nearby, where a creature threw sand into the sky. The neck was quite long, the legs short and stumpy. The body snug in a shell, round and bumpy. Yeah. A kind tortoise mama turned slowly around. Hi, sweetheart, she said. That's my home that you've found. You are not like the rest in the nest. No, You're new. Oh, and you make my heart melt. So, I promise to you, I will love you, my dear, from your shell, round and neat, all the way down to the soles of your feet. The egg thought, hooray! We'll be a great match. Then it cracked. But who came just before it could hatch? The lioness again. She still didn't care. Roar! That the egg had to flee a third time. How unfair! Oh dear, not long after that frightful attack, the egg stumbled and hit a near tree. Crack, crack, crack. The egg wobbled and bobbled to make the shell fall, until out stomped a dinosaur, tired and small. Because it had lost homes 1, 2, 3, and 4, the dino collapsed and let out a sad roar. In that moment, the lioness came, thinking, I bet you will be easy game. But the dino stood up. It was ready for a fight. Surely my roar will give her a fright. Roar! She grabbed the weak dino with her long pointy teeth and put it down slowly, her paws underneath. Softly she said, You need family that roars. If you want, be my baby. My life will be yours. I will love you, my dear, from your snout with strong jaws, all the way down to the claws on your paws. And from that day till now, yes, those two were a pair that shared home, bed, and meals. Only eggs they would spare. That's how Duck and I sleep. The end. Fluffy Ducky helps his friends. Fluffy Ducky is very lucky. He's a special duck, you see. Around his tummy, you can see something that makes him so unique. His body is full of soft and thick wool, just like there is on a sheep. If someone's in trouble, or just to be helpful, he will use some when in need. He lives on a farm that has a big red barn, tall silo, long wooden fence. He'll play in the lawn or splash in the pond with all of his animal friends. There's a cow and a pig, a horse who is big, and a chicken who's really a hen. They love when it's spring or or when summer brings a beautiful day overhead. Then came a cold night that none of them liked, but Fluffy Ducky had an idea. Under the moonlight, he wove his wool tight, making them clothes to wear. He covered them up with coats and earmuffs so they could stay warm from the air. Without any fuss, they slept well because of his wool and generous care. When everyone woke, they looked at their clothes. The pig asked, Who made these and why? Fluffy Ducky spoke and said, It was cold, so I made sure my friends would be fine. They gave him a hug for what he had done. His friends yelled, Thank you, you're so kind. He said, You're welcome. And that's when the sun came back out into the sky to shine. Yep. Alright, the end. Dreamy, Antarctica. welcome to Antarctica. Come join me for a little trip where there is so much icy fun with giant mountains capped in ice and not a single ounce of sun. That's not true. The name Antarctica comes from a Greek word meaning opposite to the north. Antarctica is the largest desert, an icy desert, in the world, and with very little rainfall throughout the year. Let's live in igloos! Oh, they are so cozy and so very warm, for they will surely shelter us in blizzards or a frosty storm. Did you know? An igloo is a house made from blocks of snow in the shape of a dome. They are used by Inuit and Eskimo people living near the North Pole. Actually, there are no igloos in Antarctica. Nobody lives there permanently. We'll make some merry snowmen and have lots of snow fights every day. We'll have the most amazing fun when we go out to dance and play. Did you know Antarctica is the coldest and windiest continent? We have to wear several layers of clothing to keep warm. And we will need an impenetrable outer layer of clothing, including insulated, waterproof boots. Let's have an icy picnic with a blanket made of fluffy snow. Our steaming mugs of chocolate will freeze over when the wind does blow. Did you know? So, what's on the picnic menu in Antarctica? Any food that will keep you warm and provide energy. Pemmican, bannock, and hoosh. Sound funny? Read more at the end of the book. We'll ride on prehistoric friends like mammoths. Oh, so very tall. Yes. Antarctica? Interesting. That's so interesting. We'll ride on prehistoric friends like mammoths, oh so very tall. We'll go on great adventures, and we'll make a special secret call. It's so interesting how many different ways there are to say one word. And everybody's right, because why not? Did you know mammoths were hairy elephants that became extinct 4,500 years ago? Or 4,500 years ago. They lived in parts of Europe, Asia, and North America. But they never lived in Antarctica. Well, yeah, semantics. They ate mostly grass, plants, and flowers. Oh, let's dress up in ancient clothes, and then we'll put on a lovely play. Performing on an icy stage. We'll have the most amazing day. Did you know? Prehistoric man never lived in Antarctica. The first time man set foot in Antarctica was in the year 1821, 200 years ago. You have stinky breath, and I need to brush your teeth later. Don't let me forget. On snowy trees we'll climb, then rest up, reading to our heart's content. Ugh, when we go, the trees will say, "Oh no, we're so sad they went." Did you know? The majority of Antarctica... I feel like there's a typo in here. The majority of the Antarctic continent is covered by permanent ice and snow. So, trees or shrubs cannot grow there. Only some grass and 2 flowering plants are found. Antarctic hairgrass and Antarctic pearlwort. This person needs to do some more or investigating Antarctica. We'll go on iceberg escapades. We'll cruise on them while out at sea. The albatross will be our friend and lead the way, so full of glee. Did you know? The albatross is the largest flying bird. They're enormous. They can fly long distances with little effort. They can glide for hours without resting or flapping their wings, even in heavy storms. Penguins playing winter games. Ugh, it's the most amazing sight. Their friends enjoying as they sit, all cheering out of sheer delight. Did you know? There are 18 species of penguin, 4 of which live in Antarctica and nearby islands. The Adelie, the Emperor, the Chinstraps, and the Gentoos. Also, did you know that they recently found an all-yellow Emperor penguin? It's true, just a few weeks ago. And they took a picture. Oops. Here it is. And oh, what fun we'd have on ice while fishing. Wouldn't you agree? We might decide to read a book while waiting for some fish at sea. Did you know? There are almost 400 known lakes under thick ice in Antarctica. But even if you drill through the thick ice, there are no fish in these lakes. And we can travel anywhere with a snow dog-driven winter skis. With snow dog-driven winter sleighs. I've heard those dogs tell funny jokes to make you laugh in brilliant ways. Did you know? The snow dogs were kept and used in Antarctica for so many years, but they have been banned since 1993 due to fears that they might transmit a disease to local seals. Yes, they did recently find life under the ice sheet in Antarctica. Who knew this would be such a poignant book? Also, they have found the gigantic squid. Yes. I think that's what it's called. Under the ice in the Antarctic. Then, after all our icy fun, we'll be fatigued and want to rest. We'll snuggle in our igloo with our family. We are so blessed. Did you know? The Antarctic... There are a couple of typos in this book, but that's okay. The Antarctic Night Sky during winter is so beautiful. Curtains of purple, pink, green, and yellow shoot and wave all around the sky, and one can only watch and stare in amazement. It's much like the Aurora Borealis, but I can't remember what it's called in the southern sky. Hey! Animals, birds, and sea life of Antarctica. We got some algae, some lichen, the killer whale, which is actually a large dolphin species, the sperm whale, squid, the Gentoo penguins, pike icefish, the hourglass dolphin, the snow petrel, which is a bird, the marble Notothenia, we'll go with that, the emperor penguin, the Antarctic petrel, again, a bird, the Arctic tern, algae's on here twice, the moss, a Weddell seal, they can be kind of pains in the butts, Itchy. A leopard seal. They're kind of mean. Adelie penguins. Crab-eater seals. The Antarctic toothfish. And a sea whale. They also, within the last month, discovered a new species of whale. It wasn't in the Antarctic, but it's new. All right, penguin facts. Penguins are flightless birds, technically. While other birds have wings for flying, penguins have flippers on their side to help them swim in the water. There we go. They eat snow as a source of fresh water and also drink salty seawater. They eat a range of fish and other sea life that they catch underwater. Penguins spend around half their time in the water and the other half on land. Did you know polar bears and penguins have never met? Because polar bears live in the Arctic in the north, and penguins live in the Antarctic or the south. Oh. There's some foods of Antarctica and words that were mentioned in the book, like dome, extinct, blizzard. Sorry. This book describes blizzard as long, heavy snowstorm. Not quite. It's only a blizzard once the wind is involved. Otherwise, it's just a snowstorm. One of the words on this list is band. Alright. That's it. Last book of the night. We did it. Thank you so much for coming. And we will see you next week. Bye.